Now they get Antrivia Smith on the stand, right? And we can see her, shout out to her. She had the big eyelashes going. She had the braids going. You know what I mean? So she came in the door with attitude. You know what I mean? She came in the door with attitude. She does not want to be there. But they brought her in there to talk about that shooting at her home. Now, when I talk about people like when we look at this whole trial, the totality of the trial, a lot of witnesses are comparable, right? And in this instance, the comparable witness to Antrivia Smith will be Archillian Bennett, A. Bennett, the girlfriend, the ex-girlfriend, or I guess baby mom of the real King Slime, Ola player, right? So I put them kind of in the same kind of category because they're similar type of witnesses. They were considered victims of YSL, but they were also at some point friendly with YSL members. And the state brought them in to kind of tell their story about how YSL victimized them in some way, right? The difference between how she was dealt with and how A. Bennett was dealt with, Bennett was earlier on in the trial. She felt she lost her job. She felt like one of the investigators with the state was sexually harassing her. The state ended up keeping her on the stand for days, making her testify for a long time. But now they did keep her identity hidden, but she felt like they were like harassing her beyond belief. With Antrivia Smith, though, she didn't want to be there, but she was subpoenaed, so she had to come. But they only, like Love, I felt like Love kept her up there for like 10, 15 minutes. It was very, very, very short. It was like 10 to 15 minutes for real. I'm not even exaggerating. It was a very short direct examination of somebody who was essentially at the center of it all. Now, as I was thinking about it today, I realized, and we can get into what she actually said in a minute, but I realized that Love got her off the stand very quickly because she did not want the jury to hear too much and start to think, oh, the beef between these people had nothing to do with a gang. The beef between these people was because of her. Had they asked too many questions and had they found out that Antonio Sledge and her was together long term, and had they found out that Antonio Sledge and her was in love, and then she went and started dealing with his top op, Shell Kell, or maybe Shell Kell wasn't the op at first and he became the op because he took his girlfriend. Attorney Love didn't want the jury to sit there and sit with that for too long, because then the theory goes away from Young Thug beefing with Donovan Thomas over Rich Homie Quan, and that whole theory would go out the window. So that's the only reason I can think of that they would have Antrivia Smith up there for only 10 minutes to briefly talk about, did you give a statement that night? Were you home when the shooting happened? Like, they didn't get into at all, did you hear anything about this beef over that? Did you ever see Antonio Sledge with guns? Did you ever hear him say that he was going to shoot at Kel? They didn't get into any of that. And I get it why now. The reason is because they don't want the jury believing that they were fighting over a female, over a lady, right? So I understand now why she was so short. Now, like I said, Smith, she had attitude from the jump. Like, she wasn't going for none of it. I thought it was interesting when she was being asked about certain things. Let me see, what video, what clip do I have? Let's see here. I'm gonna pause. Let me pause.
Obvious, but
she was at like Moontoon, man. Like he like young homeboys. He like young girls. He just, because supposedly she was only 15 when he got with her, and he was only 15. I mean, she was only 15. He was about what, 10 years older than her, right? I think she said while she was testifying, he molded me. I think that's the word she used. He molded me. Did y'all hear that? Did anybody else hear that? The he molded me part? I thought that was very interesting. Let's play the video. Give me a second. Let me pull up my joint. The reason I just like blank for a second is because my screen had went black for a second. Hold on. Let me get my headphone. Let me see something.
obvious, but do you know any members of your...
Give me a second. Let me turn these puppies on. All right. Let me see what's happening. Dang, I paused there at a crazy part. Check her out, though.
Friend Kelvin's family. Did you know Donovan Thomas?
I did.
Were you close with him?
Yes.
All right. And were you able to observe Kelvin's interaction with him?
I wasn't.
Okay. Do you have any knowledge of whether Kelvin was
Nope.
close to him?
Nope. I do not.
At the time, did you know an Antonio Sledge?
Of course I did.
Why do you say, of course you did?
Because I dated him.
All right. Were you dating him at the same time you were dating
I wasn't.
Kelvin? How long before your house got shot up did you stop dating Antonio Sledge?
A couple of months. The same time I just told you when I started dating Kevin.
Okay. And what did you call Antonio Sledge?
Monktoon.
Monktoon?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Now, Monktoon was clearly the actual boyfriend, right? And her dealing with Shell Kell was clearly the I want to make my man mad play, right? She don't even know that she called the man Kevin. So she don't even really know his real name. She like, yeah, I call him Kel. I call him Shell. She told the police his name was Lil Kel. Like, so she was calling the man Kevin just now. So one of the first things that when a woman really like you, one of the first things that they want to know is your government name. That's just what it is. They want to know your government name. They want to call you something that nobody else calls you. They might even get to calling you your middle name. Nobody on the planet calls you by your middle name, but they want to call you by your middle name. You understand what I'm saying? So the fact that she called Shell Kell Kevin, like she was purely trying to make Moontoon mad dealing with him, right? It was like, come on. We know that even she was smirking the whole time that they was even talking about the dating part, right? Because she knows she was out of pocket. You know what I mean? This is your man. It's been your man for a long time. You know who he like, who he don't like. You know what the beefs is in the street. You know where you from. You know where they from. You know, so she clearly likes smoke. You know what I mean? She's into that. You know, and in the streets, that's how it is. You know, when you don't play in that world, it doesn't make sense. But the people that play in that world, that's what they do. You know, but I just want to, PSA to unfortunately, this young lady made it out alive, and Antonio Sledge is still alive, and Shell Kell is still alive. So shout out. But a lot of times them situations do not go like that. A lot of times one person kills the other person, and the woman is left out here distraught, traumatized. She might get hurt, killed, whatever. The other person that does the killing goes to prison forever. It's just a total wipeout of a type of situation that's never worth it. So I know no young girls is watching this, but if y'all have some little cousins or whatever and you see them playing around like this, let them know this ain't funny. It's not going to end well. Especially they was beefing back when 2015, the switches wasn't quite everywhere yet. If a beef like that happened and started today, somebody getting switched down. You understand? It's going to happen. So tell these young girls stop playing like that. All right? Because, you can't be like, oh, I'm in the middle, but no women, no kids. No, they're going to put you down too. So quit playing around like that. If y'all see somebody playing like that, you see your friends playing like that, it's not funny. Tell them stop playing. They just about to get somebody hurt for no reason. Just because you mad at your boyfriend, you want to, like, it's no point. All right. Shout out to her. She did whatever. She must have scared the hell out of Love. I'm not going to lie. Because Love was not turning up with her at all. You know what I mean? Lucy sent me a video. Antrivia Smith actually used to go to the Club Crucial and box. You know how they always talk about they used to go to Crucial every Monday and watch the girls fight? Trivia was actually one of the heavy hitters. It seems like she might have been the George Foreman of the fight scene in Atlanta. She was a bruiser. You know what I mean? She was from the shoulder. She was nice from the shoulder. So shout out to Trivia. I don't want no smoke. You understand? She was getting it in. I don't want no problem. I ride past Club Crucial on my way to work. Every single time I go to work, I ride past there. I'm surprised. Anyway, so they get her off the stand, and it's funny, there's no cross-examination. I'm assuming there's no cross because the defense feel like she didn't give them anything. She went up there and said, I don't remember giving any statements. When I got there that night after the shooting happened, the police wasn't even there, whatever. So they let her off the stand. Immediately, Love brings the cop back on the stand that was there before to impeach Trivia. So once again, we got another witness that has to be impeached. They said, oh, did this lady give you a statement? Did she give you a statement and other officers? And the officer was like, yeah, she gave me a statement and she gave the detectives a statement that night. She said Lil Kel was staying at her house. He was hiding out, whatever. So you know what's crazy? You know how crazy you got to be hiding from somebody at their girlfriend's house? Or they, and to them, they're going to look at it like, that's still my girl. You can't. So I'm hiding from you at your girlfriend's house. You got to be cold-blooded to play around like that. Everybody in this situation is just playing around, doing too much. And Miss Smith was right in the middle of all of it, right?